Hi, good morning. Welcome to this webinar, how to co-author Revit models using BIM Collaborate Pro. Hope you had a good morning so far. All right, so let's get going. All right, so on the agenda, we'll just introduce the topic and also, the software involved or the cloud-based construction cloud, just briefly, and then we'll get the model to the cloud, obviously setting up that construction cloud, just the project and the users, and then we will look at making changes and see how other users will see your changes that you've made. So obviously I'm just on one PC, so I'll just log out as me and log out in again as someone else and see what they would actually see. All right, so just introducing the topic. Basically, we're going to look at a small little building, and we're going to just upload that, set up the construction cloud project with some users, and then we'll upload the model and see the effects of the changes. All right, so it's basically just a like a brief overview of that process. All right, so the construction cloud, obviously, it's basically a cloud-based system that have been around for a while now. It's different versions of it has been released, and the basic idea is to cover the whole construction process from concept design through planning and actually building and operating that particular building. Right, now the focus for today's webinar is on the first left-hand side there, the little design part. So most architects, engineers, and MEP, HVAC guys services will be affected or can use what we do today. So we're obviously not focusing on the rest of that process. Okay, so there is other software for this, the rest of the process. We'll also see on the left-hand side, the BIM Collaborate Pro is what we're going to use, this particular software. And obviously also Revit. This BIM Collaborate and Autodesk Docs, basically, as you can see at the bottom of that picture, forms the basics or the basis or the common data environment for this whole process. So information that you upload to that platform will be able to be used by the contractors and the planners in future. All right, so that's just a little bit of a background. We're going to use the construction cloud as the common data environment between the users now, particularly in this webinar. All right, so I'm just going to briefly go through the slides, and then we'll move over to the Revit software and then to the cloud. Right, so basically the first part of this whole process is to log into this system, the Autodesk Construction Cloud, or the ACC, as its new name is. Obviously you'll need the BIM Collaborate Pro software in addition to Revit to be able to do this. So what we'll do once we logged on, we'll create a project, the little image on the left, we'll type in the details of the project, and then we'll create members that are part of this project. We're just going to just be very simple and have two users kind of working as architects on this project. We're not going to include the structural and the other guys, so we're going to just keep it simple. And so I'm going to have two users on this particular project. All right, and then what we'll do is these users that we now have added, we will go and enable their software. If you look at the background here, the users that we've created, we'll enable the particular modules that they can use, within this project. So the BIM Collaborate Pro module. Right, once that's done, we'll create some folders within the project and assign rights to these guys. All right, or permissions rather, so that they can edit or view the particular project. All right, and then once that's done, the second part is to look at the Revit model, and then once obviously you've kind of drawn it up, you can then collaborate or upload this model to the particular project. All right, it's just a small little building that we drew up. All right, and then we'll upload it to that project. So making it available for other users to perhaps view it. The viewing, if you just want to view a model, you don't have to have the BIM Collaborate Pro software. You can just have software called Autodesk Docs, which is purchased, as a standalone, or it comes with the AEC collection. So for instance, you guys develop or design the drawing, and maybe a project manager, he just wants to view the software. If he's got AEC collection, he can do that, so he doesn't have to purchase additional software. Right, we'll kind of look at viewing as well. All right, that's obviously not making changes yet, as is viewing, but then also we'll look at initializing this collaboration idea, where the first user perhaps publishes this model that you've now uploaded for use to the other users or view, and we'll see this timeline, and the other users will see the model being published, and they'll then use that particular model and open it and edit it on their side, and then sync to central and vice versa. So you'll then see what the other guys have done, and vice versa. Right, so that's basically the process that we're going to take just on using the little software or using Revit software, and then we're going to come back just with the slides or the conclusion. All right, so I'm going to go to Revit, and within Revit, this is the little software. And remember, we mentioned that the first part is to just create the project, because you need to upload this to something. So right, so I'm going to this is the project, just to introduce a little project. Okay, so it's not workshed yet. It's just I've just opened up a little project, or drawn a little project from scratch. Okay, it's called Office for Webinar. All right, I've purged it to make it a little bit smaller as well. All right, so let's open the Construction Cloud. I've added a little list there, a little link. Right, so basically I'll go to the acc.autodesk.com. That's basically, if you can see the little link there below the tooltip, acc.autodesk.com. Then you would go and sign in, obviously. Right, now you don't have to have any software to sign in, but with the software that you do have, I think you do need Autodesk Docs though to kind of sign in. I'm not too sure, but within this scenario, you sign in. If you've got a trial or you've got certain software. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project. Right, you can also on the top right here go to your account and check who is part of your system and that. I'm not going to do that. So this is the landing page, and I'm going to say create a project. Now I've already kind of created one yesterday, just to kind of again go through the process, but I will just create a new one. Right, just for this. Right, so I'm just going to be very brief. I'll just say it's project name Office for Webinar. right? And the project number can be something. The account, I'm going to use the account that I belong to. All right. It's going to be, maybe an office. There's templates that we're going to use. I'm just going to say Newton Park, similar to the previous one, Newton Park. Obviously, you can be more specific. Sorry, I just wanted to... Right, so this is just very brief. I'll just... right, Newton Park, there we go. I'll just say PE for now. Yeah, and I'll say create project. Now, there is the start date of the project could be today. Right, so in June, end of June is the finish date. Project value could be in, ZAR, maybe 500,000. Good. So I'll go ahead and say save or create the project. The rest of the information is already done. Go. Good. So it's very simple, just creating the project. Obviously, you can elaborate a little bit on these sort of, specifics. You can also come back to the project and edit it at a later stage. All right. So the project's created. You'll see the project here at the top. You can obviously link to other projects if you like. Right. Currently, it's me that have been added to this particular project. So I'm just going to add a member. So I'll just go add members. Now this could be, I'll just use one of our, I'll just use the ATC 10 user that we did yesterday. All right, so this is basically just a user, and that is from our training center that I've assigned BIM Collaborate Pro to, and I'll use this. These are all the companies that's previously created, but I'll use kind of my same company. He's from my same company. I'm also on that cloud company. All right, and his role could be, architect or, BIM manager or draftsman or whatever. All right, you can be just the member or the administrator. So it doesn't matter. It's just a little bit of a different permission. So let's just have him as a project member. All right. Over here at the bottom, you can then select the particular software that he has that he's going to use for this software project. If he is just an architect, you'll probably need to use the design collaboration, which is the BIM Collaborate Pro, which I'm going to tick here. If he's a contractor, you might have used Build. If we as a company have that, Autodesk Build product. If it's a QS, you'll use Takeoff if we, again, have that product. All right, etc. Yeah, so I'll just kind of tick that as an additional, subscription. All right, so I'll go add that, the user plus the information. All right, and it'll, it says there it'll take a minute to just kind of update. Okay, so I'll give that a minute. Okay, so we've created the project, created the user. Right, so the next step is to now, make sure that that user has the rights. I did enable it, and then we start adding some folders. Right, so I'll return back to that system. Okay, good. On the Construction Cloud, the user is now created. His role is there. Okay, so I'm going to just click on him and just double check the details if everything is fine. Yes, his docs is enabled, which is the common platform, and Design Collaborate is enabled, which is the BIM Collaborate Pro, which links Revit to the cloud or enables Revit. Okay. Okay, I just want to check my information. Right, because it's a new project, I'll just need to, I'll also be an architect perhaps, and then project administrator, that's fine, and I'll enable mine and enable mine. Right, so at this point, that's all I want to use, because now as you tick these on, it will then use, say you've got 10 licenses in your company, as you tick these on, there'll be like now 9 left. Right, if you've got BIM Collaborate Pro. Good. All right, Just want to double check now. That's fine. Why is it not turning on? Okay, maybe it's just taking a minute. I'm just going to go back to somewhere else and then go back to the members of this particular project. There we go. Yeah, right. So I just needed to update in the background. It's all sorted. If I go to the other user, yeah, I'm happy. All right. So basically, we have now set up the members of this project. Right. So what I'll do is, as you click on this drop-down, there's the project admin. You'll see a list of what you can do. That obviously is equal to over here what has been enabled. Right. That's probably why it took a little bit of time because it needs to kind of load those modules as well. Right. These modules, because I'm obviously logged in there at the top, these are the modules that I have available to me, and then here is the modules that I can access. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go to Docs, which is the common platform where you kind of create folders and that sort of thing for this particular project. Right. So what we've done is we've kind of just set up the members, and now we just need to set up some of the folders that we'd like. Right. So for this project, Office or Webinar, I'm going to just add, there's the project files. I'll just add a subfolder. Right. And I'll call this ARC model, something like that, you know. Right. So there's the ARC model. You can also upload files directly here if you've got PDFs or something that you just want to add, or maybe a site drawing or whatever you want to use. Right. We're going to upload it via Revit and the Revit model. Okay, so I'll then go and look at this architectural model folder and just perhaps here on the right, just look at the permissions for this folder. I just want to check here. Transmittal, no. Right, over here. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. All right, so that architectural model folder, I'll just set the permissions and set the permissions to, you know, that's me. I'll just add the other user. All right, because each of these projects or folders can have a particular user that you want to kind of add to the, you know, folder. Sorry, I'll set the permission level. Let's use a manage. I'll say add. Okay. So on this folder, both me and the other user can upload and edit files, and I'm happy with that. All right. All this you can also set up as a template, but I'll not do that at this point. Okay. So I'll just close those permissions. All right. So I'm happy that these folders are set up and also the permissions are added. Right, so I'm basically done with this sort of scenario. Carrying on, we basically have uploaded or created our project, created all the users. So now I'm ready for the second part of this model. Right, so I'm going to go to, or not model, but the progression. Right, so what I'm now going to do is I've got my little Revit model, and I'm going to go into the Collaborate part. Okay, so I'm going to go to Collaborate here, and obviously I've drawn the drawing. I've just kind of, there's nothing that I have done with this, you know, prior, other than just drawing the little office up. Right, so I go to the Collaborate tab. I'll go to Collaborate over here, and it'll just ask me to how am I collaborating. Right, so I'm going to say not within the network. That's how we did it in the past, you know, with work sets, etc. If we do it in the cloud, we're still using work sets. However, it just happens in the cloud. Right, so I'll go next. Okay. Right, so basically it wants us to now pick a project that this is uploaded to, and I will go change because we've got different hubs, etc. So I'll just go to the Office for Webinar, yeah, as opposed to the one that I created yesterday. So you can select which project that we want to upload this to. Right, these are the folders. It's project files. These are architectural model that I have set up earlier, and I'll just say save. All right. So basically, what it now does is about a 1.5 meg model. So it kind of just creates the work sets, and saving the model up takes a couple of seconds. And right, then it's ready on the cloud, and your job's done for now. Right, I just want to wait for that to finish. Okay, here we go. Right, so it's been updated. Obviously, this process might take longer if your file is much larger. This one, as I mentioned, is 1.5 megs, so it took a good 10 or 15 seconds. Right, we've got a 100 meg line here. Right, okay, so I'll just say close. And that's now uploaded. You'll notice now that it's uploaded. You have these synchronize buttons, which means that if you save now, it basically saves locally as well as to the cloud. I'll go through the motions just now. Right. Let's just do it now. All right. So I can synchronize now. Then it just does that, as opposed to synchronize and modify setting. If I synchronize and modify setting, I have the ability to add a little comment saying that I've increased the size of this room, or I moved this door, or whatever. So it just adds a comment. I'm not going to do that now. I'll just say synchronize. Okay, so there's no comment. It just uploads the information. You might see it goes through a little bit quicker because previous things have been set up already. So they're a couple of seconds. Okay. All right. So now what I just want to return to is the Construction Cloud. So I'll just go to the Construction Cloud once again. And over here, I just want to look at what we have. So want to view it, perhaps, even though I am logged in. Remember, we said that once the project is uploaded, we can view it via the viewer. So if you are in Docs here, so that one's still going, but if you are in Docs, you can actually view that particular file. I just want to go back to the files so that it just updates a little bit. There's the architectural model folder, and there's the office. I can just click on it, and so if you got Autodesk Docs, you can just click on that file that's been uploaded by whoever, and you have then the ability to view that little building. There's various, let me just close that task manager. All right, you've got various tools here at the bottom where you can measure things, so from there to there, and that's now obviously in inches. You can obviously change the measurements settings to millimeters, and there we go. Right, so I can go measure again from there to there. You can also, there's lots of other things that you can do, pan, zoom, yeah. Right, on the left hand side here is different things. You can look at the 3D view, whichever is published. By default, it's only the 3D view that gets published, and kind of a floor plan, but we can publish different sets of information, but by default, the first time you upload, kind of just a 3D, that's here. All right, so there's a kind of a floor plan, level 1, level 2, as you can see, it shows those levels, those floor plans. Obviously, you can look from the top and then you see the floor plan. All right. Okay. So there's issues now. Model browser. Here you can switch off doors, windows, roof, etc. Okay, to view the model a different way. Okay. So that's just the viewing that I just wanted to talk about. And remember, you only need Autodesk Docs to view and kind of redline this. Okay, so I'll just close the viewer. What I'll also do, remember I'm now logged in. This is just Docs. If I want this to be opened up for other users to work with, I just need to initialize this design collaboration. So design collaboration is the BIM Collaborate Pro little module. So it takes this file and kind of opens it up as a or have the ability to, for other users to kind of access. Right, so your project is not initialized for BIM Collaborate, so let's just set that up. And it does it for us. We can have different settings that you can have here. I'll just default it. So what it does, creates a little additional folder called shared. So as you share this model, it will be able to be shared for other users, either in your same company or other people that you, from other companies that you, or other disciplines that you invite. All right, so that's then set up. There's the architectural model. There I can add teams, etc. So I'll just, for now, I'm not going to worry about too much. There's the project details. There's the teams. I think I'm just going to add the team for the architectural model. I think it's just the one team. I'll call this the architects. If I've got different teams, these will automatically, these folders would be created for these particular teams. So there's architectural model, and there's the architects folder. All right. Okay. So so and these are the colors that that I have for the architects. All right. So that's the initial model. Right. So let's carry on. Okay. So what I'm going to do. I shouldn't actually have created that, but it's fine. I'll don't know if I can delete it. There's the delete team. Right, so just leave it at that. Yeah. Okay. So if I now go back to the my project, what I want to do is I want to publish this now as kind of a set that I have now. As a starting point for other people to use or to consume. So I'm just going to go to the publish settings. So although the model is uploaded, that's fine. I'm just going to go publish settings, and I'll just say, right, I'll do the floor plan and a 3D view, and I think that I'll just save it as set 1. I think. Yeah, include, I'll say save and close. Right, I think set 1 is already kind of created, but yeah, you can create new sets if you want to, but there's set 1 as those two views only. Right, so remember set 1 is just a saved number of views. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is, because I've now logged in here, let me just, sorry, let me just go back to the, yeah. Right, if I go home, there's the project. And there's a timeline. All right, so there's the architectural model that's been uploaded. The architects have, that's now, perhaps the architects now, obviously I haven't, added anybody to that team yet. But anyway, that only comes in, I shouldn't have done that, but that comes in if you've got different disciplines. You don't have to, you can just work on the architectural model. There's the Revit file that's been uploaded. It's kind of version 2, and if I now want to, you know, just remember version 2, and if the architects, or maybe these could be the structural engineers, they can then consume that item and on their side work on it and upload it again. But as I mentioned, I don't actually want to go that far. All right, so if I go back to my, remember that was version 2. If I come here and I go synchronize, you know, now kind of uploads the model once again. There you go. And if I now return to the, what is that? Right, it might be still version 2. Right, if I click on that, you'll see I have to, yeah, so that's your code. That's the current one, yeah, so that's fine. If I go back to, apologies, if I go back to my Revit and go back to the start area, so this is my model. As I work, I upload them, but if I go to the start area here, you do have the ability to click on this docs area, and then this is the project, and you go project files. There's the architect. I'm just going to, these are different folders. I'm going to go to the arc model, and this project that I'm busy with locally, I'll just kind of publish to again to the cloud. So you use this initial area to kind of in future upload. I'm just uploading the architectural model again. I'll say publish. It's now processing. This takes a minute or two. What it publishes, I should have, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that'll just process and publish that, and then we can come back to, so as you work with your model, you can synchronize to central. That kind of just updates the central file, but you should also from time to time go and you know, publish this model to the cloud for users to be able to see what you've done, non-Revit users, I guess. Right, while that's going, that's fine. There we go, it's published. All right, so if I come back here, maybe I'll just refresh that, just go to docs again. Right, so docs again is where the guys will work. This is now version 3, it used to be version 2. Obviously you can view that. If I go back to Collaborate, this is now the Revit collaboration area. You'll see there it's Office for Webinar version 3. I can expand that and then just zoom out a bit. So that's the initial one, that's version 2, and 10 minutes lapsed, and I kind of published it again. So you can actually expand that to see who's done what when, right, I suppose, or which version. You can now, from here, you can compare the versions between 1 and 2 and lots of other things. I'm not going to go there. There's a set one that we uploaded, which is the 3D and the floor plan. All right, so at this point, I'm going to just minimize over here, and then in Revit, I'm going to go and log in as a new user. Right, so I'm just going to close Revit actually, and I've got the Autodesk desktop app. I just want to exit. Right, so I'll just kind of sign out here. So I'm now basically going in as another user. I think I'm going to sign out on this area here as well. rather. Okay, and then I'm going to make a change, and I'll come back as myself and then see how that worked. Okay, all right. So I'm going to sign in as the ATC person, which is I think it's 10. Cool. So I'm signed in here, and what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go and open Revit. So Revit 2022. Right. So it's going to open Revit as the ATC user, hopefully, because if you open the software, it always looks at that desktop app for the users' usernames. Okay, so you can see top right there. You'll see the ATC user is signed in. All right, so now it being new user, I'll go to Docs over here, for instance, because this other user might not see all of this. So I'll just go to Docs, go to the particular project, and then open that. Go to the particular project that we created earlier, and then I'll go to the architectural model, and then just open that model. Right, so it basically downloads now the Office little drawing. I'm going to make a change and upload it and sync it to Central, as well as create a new publish. Right, so there's my little model. Obviously there's work sets involved here, so you'll perhaps just need to talk about work sets and divide the project in various work sets, etc. But for now, I'm not going to do that much, change that much. So I'll just kind of increase that wall, maybe swap this door for a singular door, for instance. All right, yeah, so I'm happy with that, and I will just now save or synchronize. Right, so once I've made that change as the ATC user, it kind of uploads the model. Right, if you synchronize to Central here, all the other Revit users will see it, but the change, but the non-Revit users will not. As soon as you go and go to the publish, then it allows you to publish these changes to the non-Revit users. Right, so I'll do both for now. Right, so that I'll publish to the non-Revit users. No, that's not it. Right, yeah, so update available. So maybe I just needed to kind of refresh the previous things, or so. Anyway, so with me syncing to Central, there was a little bit of a lag, maybe just to make sure that yeah, everybody gets that. So there was a little bit of a lag, so I'll just now go publish, and I'll just publish my changes now to the non-Revit users. Right, so that'll take a minute or two. Right, okay, so while that's going, I will now sign out again, but I need to just make sure that that is finished. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not instant. When you publish or whatever, wait a couple of minutes, or when you sync to Central, just wait a couple of minutes. There is a lag perhaps with the upload and kind of the system, being updated. especially if it's a large project. Give it an hour before someone else is publishing. So rather than every 10 minutes, give it an hour in between. All right. Okay. So what I'm now going to look at is once that's now published, great. I'm going to sign out again, close Revit, and then sign out as myself, and then see how this now done. Right, so that's kind of just the ATC usage is syncing. I shouldn't have done that, but it's not a problem. Okay. Right, I'm going to go back to the desktop app over there. I'll sign out here, and I'll sign back in as myself. Cool. All right, I'm signed in. I'll start Revit. Right, so the other user has changed the storeroom larger and changed the door, etc. So I'm back in this area here. Now this is that's obviously from the other user. This was mine. Could be that also. But so if you've got the project, you can actually just click here and make it open. You'll see there's a little icon that tells you that it's a work set or a cloud-based item. This is the local file. So as an alternative, you can just go do that and then open, if you're unsure, open the object from the cloud itself. All right, so you go to project files. I'm not going to worry about that architects. That's if you've got different disciplines. Remember, I said I shouldn't have done that, but all right. So it opens up that. You'll also notice the other person has opened that. The workset monitor also works, if you're familiar with the workset monitor. Right, so this is now the drawing from, and you can see the storeroom has been enlarged, the door's changed, and I'm basically happy with what is occurred here. Just to go back to the orders account, go to the project list there. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right spot. Okay. Just to see what's happened here and how how this looks. This is the office from webinar. Yep, in there. All right, there's the architectural model folder. Yeah, I can view, or if I don't have Revit or BIM Collaborate Pro, I can access this published model. You will notice that if you go to the floor plan or whatever, you'll see that the that has been enlarged, so that's fine. Right, so that's the viewer. So the version 4 is there. You can go to version 3, 2, and 1 and maybe compare them, etc. But I'm going to do that at this point. I'll just close this for now. Right, you'll see version 4 there. Great. If I now go to the Design Collaborate, which I have a license of, BIM Collaborate Pro, I just want to see the timeliner here. Okay, and expand that. Right, so there's the initial upload, or prior to that there was version 2, there's version 3, and there's version 4 that we just did. All right, okay, so that's basically, and so I actually can kind of click on this and see what that particular object looks like. I can actually go to its floor plan um, and then see the version 2 has got a small storeroom, and then I'll go to version, the next version, and I'll go to the same kind of floor plan, and I'll see. Okay, well, just want to look at it at the top. I can see that it's got a larger. Let's look at the floor plan rather. It's got a larger store. Okay, so per version you can have a look at this particular item. Who did what and so and such. All right, so I'm going to go and look at. Yeah, so that's fine. So this little timeliner you can open up. If you've got multiple disciplines, you can consume these items that someone's uploaded. This architectural model, maybe these guys are the structural guys. They'll consume this model and use it in their as a linked file in their work set. All right. So at this stage, this is all we've got time for. So I'm going to stop it there and just go back to my little slide show. All right. Let me just click that. Okay. So we've looked at different people changing, and then obviously as a Revit user you will see it, unless if you want to make it available for non-Revit users, you would publish the information. All right. Okay, then just as a conclusion, and we'll stop there, basically this common data environment, uploading your data to that allows everyone to see what's happening, even if you're on the same company working at home. Once person is uploaded, you'll see that changes on your side in your Revit model, and vice versa. Right, so that allows you to, you just kind of save or synchronize, and you don't have to go upload to a Dropbox or elsewhere. And this brief setup just showed a little bit of a workflow between two users and the BIM Collaborate Pro, but there's a whole additional workflow that can be covered with this. This is just the design part, but there's still planning, quantity surveying and building and issues and lots of other things, and then facilities management as well. But as you can see, this is a great tool to speed things up and be more productive. Obviously, just talking about the other professionals out there, the contractors, etc. They might need additional modules for their specific tasks, like Autodesk build or takeoff, etc. Okay, so it's not all in one module that you purchase. Then just finally, I just want to open up a website. Where is that? Just want to open up a website here just to show you, if you want to stay in touch, if you've got the software and you want to stay in touch, basically with the new features. Because it's a cloud-based tool, Autodesk update this. They add new features, I think weekly or monthly. And if you don't know what they're adding, you perhaps don't know, which productivity tools you can use. So go to this digital builder. It's like a blog that that Autodesk write out. Subscribe there for the newsletter, and you'll get it every so often. Couple of November, there's 50 new product updates available. You can go specifically to BIM Collaborate and see what changes they've made. Change analysis, issues, add-in. And read up if there's something that triggers you. You go into that and have a look at that support and a new feature. All right, so Autodesk keep on updating this particular tool, the Autodesk Construction Cloud, with various other new features. So keep abreast of that. It'll it'll, maybe a tool that can save you a lot of time. All right, guys. Thank you very much for attending. If you need any assistance or some, if you've got questions, you're welcome to email us. It'll get to the salespeople or the techies, and we can answer your questions. All right. Thank you very much. Hope this helped to just clear up a couple of things and show you how to co-author a model with BIM Collaborate Pro and Revit. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.